Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, random childhood memories we're convinced didn't traumatize us.
Also, the traveling tour that Hudson would never be allowed in.
All that and more on the way next. Well, this must have been terrifying in Texas over the weekend. Six Flags over Texas experienced a power outage. The entire park.
Uh-oh.
No power. And that affected, obviously, many of the rides, including at least one roller coaster where guests were left stranded on the roller coaster due to the power outage.
That's not fun.
8772 Radio U, the talkback button in the Radio U app. So what they had to do, because they had to close down the whole park. Because there was no, the power's out.
Yeah,
what are
you
going
can't
to
do
do?
anything.
Not a lot of fun.
Nope.
To be at Six Flags with the power out. And so they had to exit these guests out of the park, even the ones that were riding the roller coaster at the time. So it stopped up at the top of the hill.
Of
and
course.
they had to load all of the riders off of the ride. And they all had to walk down those steps that are beside the roller coaster.
I love roller coasters, but let me tell you, that's one thing that I do not want to do. Every time that I go up a roller coaster, you see those stairs that are beside the hill as you're click, 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 going up, you can hear the chain. I just look over at that little staircase and I'm like, nope. I do not want to have that job.
Yes, that's what on some roller coasters, like the wooden ones, it doesn't seem that bad. But this is not that. This is a steel roller coaster, and it's super high up. And I'm with you. I'd feel much more comfortable riding the roller coaster than walking up or down those steps.
You don't have anything seatbelting you in.
Exactly.
If you fall off, you're done for.
And by the way, apparently the reason that the power went out is because there was high winds in Texas this weekend.
Oh, no.
So you have to walk down those stairs and there's high winds.
It's super windy. Oh, no. And you can see in the pictures, the women's hair is blowing in the wind. So it had to be pretty windy up there.
And usually when you're up high, too, it's windier anyways.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't a super windy day, but obviously that was a problem this weekend. And also, can I say, I'd be nervous because of all the other people there. You're not the only one riding that roller coaster.
Yeah.
It only takes one person tripping to send you all down the stairs like bowling pins.
Yep.
So.
Yep. You got to be trusting that everybody else is as careful as you.
I think I'd just be like, I'll wait. I'll stay strapped in here safely. It seems that the coaster's not going anywhere.
I'll wait till the power comes back.
Yeah, if you just want to bring me some cotton candy or something, I'll wait it out.
Yeah, I don't think they would have allowed you to do that. Thankfully, it doesn't look like the roller coaster, it didn't go very far away from the where they would load and unload. So once you're down that hill, it's not like you have a whole bunch of ways to go.
Yeah. And the stairs, while they are high up and there's not a lot around you to feel like you're safe, they're not very steep.
They look pretty wide and not very steep. And there is a decent sized railing beside it that everybody is clinging to dear life for. Do you see this picture? Everybody's got two hands on the railing.
Yeah, they're
two hands.
The stairs are plenty wide, but it almost looks like they're shimmying
you're
their
going
way down.
Sideways.
Like
on
it's
the
a
stairs.
ledge. Yeah.
I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't blame them.
I don't blame them at all, but I hope they got their money back. It's a pretty sad day today. Because today we say goodbye to the NHL season. The Sabres lost last night in Game 7. This is the saddest year I've ever had.
Ever?
I think so.
Oh.
It started with the Packers losing to the Bears. That was this year.
I forgot about that.
My dog died.
Yes.
My car broke down.
Yes.
And now the Sabres losing Game 7 in overtime.
Yes.
They couldn't even have the decency to get blown out. I'd rather they get blown out. They were losing 2-0 last night.
Yeah, they
I'd
came
rather
back.
When they were down 2-0 in the second period, I was like, oh, I guess I'll just
I guess I'll go to bed now.
I already had 30 minutes to accept that they were going to lose.
They were losing, yeah.
But then they started playing really well and they battled back and tied the game.
They pulled you back in.
I know. So Game 7 overtime in hockey. It doesn't get better, but also worse than that.
You know, it's funny. Literally yesterday, randomly on Facebook, I saw a clip come up. It was our first ever clip on the radio together. And we were talking about the Cleveland Guardians winning against New York Yankees. And I literally said, I was like, I don't care what happens to the rest of this playoff. I was so excited about this game. I'm happy with that. And you were like, you know what? That's the right reaction for a fan to have. And I was like, I have been conditioned. It's just the nature I have because of being a Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
You probably should have the same as being a Buffalo Sabres fan. You literally even mentioned that in the clip because you were like, well, I'm a Sabres fan, so I understand.
I understand. And there is some truth to that. And I've also tried like this entire time because, you know, they were already down 3-2 to the Canadians. They had a do or die game where they almost lost in Game 6.
Yeah.
And so I've had to be telling myself, you didn't even think they were going to be in the playoffs this year.
I know, and they got to the second round.
Yeah, and so they've got a lot of young players now. They should be able to compete for several years to come.
Yeah,
but I also feel, Allie, that not only, and you just can't get used to this.
Yeah.
Not only am I conditioned for them to lose and to break my heart, but I'm conditioned for it to happen in a very stupid way, usually at the hands of bad referees. Because what happened last night, the Sabres, they were down 2-0, dominated most of the game from like the start of the second period on. So like they played better for 40 minutes at least. And not like, oh, they kind of were better. Like they dominated. But in the third period, they scored a goal to take the lead in the game. But it was waved off because the referee, it was kind of a, battle in the front of the net.
Yeah.
The puck goes between the goalie's pads. And as soon as it's between the goalie's pads, the referee blows the play dead, thinking that it's covered. And it squirts out behind the goalie as the players were jamming at it and goes into the net.
Yeah.
That's a goal. But because
Did this already happen in the series?
That was a different situation.
Okay.
That was where the Sabres scored. And they reviewed it for 20 minutes and said it was a goal. And then the Canadians challenged the review. And they were like, yeah, it's actually not a goal.
Like a different aspect of it or something.
I don't know why they hate the Sabres. Why do the referees hate the Sabres?
Good question. I mean, you can't. I understand why another team wants to challenge, I suppose.
Yeah, but this wasn't a challenge. This was just, there was nothing they could do because the referee blew the play dead, even though it wasn't dead.
Yeah.
It was a very quick whistle. It was like I was trying to think, obviously there's nothing like it could really happen in the NBA or baseball, but it's like in football, sometimes they'll stop plays due to forward progress. And it's like if you were right on the goal line and a guy like held you for a second, and they were like, that's the end of the play as he's like still moving forward.
Yeah, and falling into the end zone.
Yeah, that's what happened. And it didn't even feel like a big deal at the time because it was in the third period, but the game was tied. It didn't feel like a big deal because the Sabres were outplaying him. It's like, oh, they'll just score an actual goal later.
Yeah.
And they never did.
Nope.
And this is the other thing that's frustrating about hockey. Obviously, Game 7 last night was better than Game 7 Cavs Pistons the other night.
Yeah, the Cavs blew them out.
And NHL Game 7 doesn't get better. The NHL playoffs are better. But what never happens in the NBA is you watch a 60-minute game, or what is it in the NBA? Is it 48 minutes?
Yeah.
You never watch a game and go, oh, that team played better for 40 minutes and still lost somehow. It happens in hockey all the time. Think about the gold medal game at the Olympics. Canada played better than the U.S. for like 45 minutes and lost in overtime.
Yeah, well,
they were clearly.
That's just how the puck
hockey.
bounces.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the analogy you want to use for it, but it's how it happens. You got to get the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, you can play better, but if you can't score enough goals and if the referees wave off your goals, you're not going to win. Usually, if you attend a wedding and a wrestling match breaks out, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
8772 Radio U, the talkback button in the Radio U app. That probably means that somebody's had too much to drink.
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
But at a recent wedding in China, a wrestling match was all a part of the festivities.
Oh, no.
And in fact, the wrestling match that broke out was between the bride and groom.
Okay.
This was in China. The husband is actually a professional wrestler, but when he when they were planning out the wedding and they realized kind of what their budget was versus what they were trying to accomplish, they were like, we're going to have to do the entertainment ourselves. We can't afford. I guess there's not a lot of money in professional wrestling for him to be able to, fund a very exciting reception. So what they instead agreed to do, the new husband and wife, were like, we'll have a professional style wrestling match at the reception, and whoever loses has to do chores for life. So the stakes were high.
They were indeed high.
It was a best of 3, and he says he let her win.
I'm looking at the pictures because I was like, what in the world is this going to look like?
Do you think this is real, these pictures?
There's pictures if you go to the link down at the bottom.
Okay.
And it's like the actual article from like the South China Morning Post. You can see the actual pictures from the wedding, and it looks adorable, actually.
It looks like they had a lot of fun, and apparently,
like they had a walkout that looked like WWE with like music and everything.
They had a whole ring going on and everything. Apparently, everybody was very confused, particularly their parents.
I can imagine.
The parents were very confused about the situation.
Yeah, it's a wedding. This is the last thing you would expect to see at a wedding. They're just rolling a ring out there. Like, I don't even know how they would have done that.
Yeah.
So.
He says he was trying to bring more attention to the Chinese wrestling scene because it's not the same way it is here in the United States.
Wow.
So
this might have worked.
I know. Yeah. We should get this guy to fight like Danhausen or something.
Yeah.
Get him, get some crossover matches going. But you think he's actually going to do chores for life?
No, I think that was totally.
It was just all a part of the show.
I mean,
wait, you're telling me wrestling isn't real?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So the stakes, you have to inflate the stakes to make it a big deal, and WWE is known for that all the time. So, yeah.
It's also weird the way they talked about it. He goes, our wedding had food and a show, so people were happy to attend. In the end, nearly 300 guests turned up. Far more than we expected.
What? It was just like an open invite?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I guess maybe weddings are just different in China, or maybe they invited 300 people and they're like, but they're not all going to come.
And then they did.
Yeah. They were like, well, too, I guess in China, maybe you wouldn't have an open bar at a wedding. So you have to do something else to convince people to come.
Yeah, maybe.
Wrestling matches.
This is a Russian space update, Hudson.
Oh, no. What have they done?
They're doing something totally unhinged, in my opinion. Russia's state space agency, the Roscosmos, I have no idea if I'm saying that right, has announced plans to display commercial advertisements on rockets and spacecrafts in an effort to generate additional revenue for their agency.
Man, I'm really torn on this.
Torn on it?
Yes, I am torn.
I thought you would be absolutely appalled. We hate ads here at RadioU.
I hate ads, but I feel like this is an appropriate way to raise funds for your stupid space program.
Well,
In other words, stop taking my money if I was in...
It's Russia.
I know, but I'm saying here in the United States.
You want NASA to put ads on their rockets?
Yeah, if it would give me a discount.
It's not. It's not giving you a discount. Even if they did put ads on it, it's not going to give you a discount.
But if they're realizing that they can't accomplish things without putting ads up, with even using your taxpayer money, then I'm like, maybe you need to rethink whether you should be doing this at all.
Yeah, I mean, we did learn recently NASA's going to start charging like the third-party space agencies money to use their launch pads. We learned about that. So like SpaceX can't just use the Kennedy Space Center for free.
Yes.
Or for a small fee, they have to actually start paying a little bit more to use that.
Is there rules in the United States against SpaceX putting advertising on their rockets that are on our launch pads?
I don't think so. There's definitely I don't know if there's legislation for this that's from the United States or if this is like international law or something, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal to put them up in the sky for everybody to see, because there's been lots of talk about that, like having a satellite.
I've definitely heard that.
And that would be so annoying because you can never escape from that.
Yeah, but then it's like, who's going to stop you?
I mean,
like if you're China and you want to put a big ad in the sky, in the space, Who's going to stop you? What, are we going to shoot it down?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we would do.
I think that's a stupid thing to start World War III over, don't you think?
No. I fully support shooting ads out of the sky. Like, we don't want ads in the sky.
Not if it means World War III.
I don't want ads in the sky. So I support that international law being enforced.
That's
if it
your
is
red
international
line.
law.
The red line is ads.
We are RadioU. We hate commercials. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm peaceful.
About?
I'm peaceful.
I am not peaceful when it comes to ads. Take them down.
I'm dovish.
You're dovish.
Yes, I'm dovish.
You're dovish.
You sound very hawkish to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very hawkish about ads.
So tell us more about the Russian ads, though.
So, yeah, this is going to be like promotional branding and logos that could appear on rocket exteriors, launch broadcasts, and other space-related media connected to their missions. So it'll be like, this mission is brought to you by the Russian whatever
So it's
thing.
like PBS.
Yeah.
But for space.
Yeah.
It works for PBS.
And it's Russian.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I guess.
It doesn't work for PBS.
I don't know. It's still on TV, right?
Yeah, but they also never seem to be doing too well.
Ever since Mr. Rogers left.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, this is interesting.
Another reason why I'm torn because I'm frustrated with space stuff that we do because most of it seems unnecessary and take a long time and use a lot of money. But when we do cool stuff, think about how cool it would be for like if as an advertiser, it'd be so cool if like, oh, we're going to the moon, we're going to land on the moon. And then there you are on the moon, the McDonald's logo.
No,
that would be awesome.
Hate that idea.
You couldn't pay enough McDonald's to have that advertisement.
I hate that idea. Can you imagine if the photo, because I remember this photo was in my classroom when I was a kid of the astronaut on the moon with the American flag in the background. Can you imagine if like in that picture instead it was like a picture with like a flag for a company?
Yes, I can definitely imagine that.
No,
I
would absolutely hate that. And I can't believe you're putting yourself in the shoes of the advertisers. Who are you? Where's Hudson?
Why would
you hate ads.
Yeah,
you hate them.
But business makes the world go round.
Who is this man and what have you done with Hudson?
Allie, what is the United States without capitalism?
The United States does not need ads for NASA. In fact, that is anti-NASA.
They just keep taking my money, though.
I
should at least be getting something out of it.
I don't want ads on the moon. No, thank you.
There's a tour going around. Allie, you might want to look into this if it comes to our area. The Traveling Tall Tour.
Was that supposed to be some type of short joke?
No, you're tall. You're like 6'5".
What? Yeah, right.
It's the radio, Allie. You can be whatever height you want to be.
How tall are you? If I'm 6'5", how tall are you, Wemby?
4'6". It's embarrassing. Short King.
Short King. Yeah.
Yeah. There's now a Traveling Tall Tour. It's gone to 19 cities across the United States, and it's basically just a meetup for people that are tall. I don't know if it has like what the official height restriction is that you're supposed to be.
Well, it apparently doesn't have any restriction because there's a picture here of like the banner and it says Tall Tour, all sizes welcome. So I think they let anybody in.
Yeah, but they've managed to make tall people feel particularly welcome because it sounds like first of all, it's grown. It's had up to 4,000 people show up. That was their biggest one so far in Orlando. But like the tall people that they have talked to that were going there say that they actually really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because they finally get to like, I guess when you're tall, Allie, you would know this. When you're tall, there's not a lot of people around you, and it becomes like the first thing people notice about you. And it is kind of like, even though there's many, I'm sure, good aspects of being tall, it's also kind of like alienating, like you stick out a lot.
Yeah, because this is like the very tall, like the 6'10" guy or the 7-foot guy or the 6'4" woman. Like these are like the really, really tall people. Because, like if you're like 6'3" and a guy, like, yeah, people would be like, oh, yeah, you're tall. But they're not like, whoa. Like when you walk in a room, they're not going to be blown blown away. But if you're 7 foot tall and you walk in a room, people are going to notice.
Yeah. So, and if you're a particularly taller woman, I think that
it draws attention.
Like this would be... It makes dating, it's another challenging aspect to dating potentially, but when you can go meet other tall guys at a tall tour, that, kind of levels everything out. It's not the first thing everybody wants to talk about.
I want to know, how can we start the short tour? You're 4'6" over here. So how can we start the short tour?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm not actually 4'6" for everybody.
and I'm not actually 6'5" or whatever you said.
So we wouldn't fit it at the tall tour.
No, I'm not.
But I also don't think if there was a short tour, we're quite short enough. I mean, I'm pretty average.
I feel like I'm pretty short. Like I'm 5'3" on a good day.
I don't think you're not short enough that like if somebody was describing you, they'd be like, she's the short girl.
Yeah,
you're not that short.
Because I do think the average height of women in America is probably like, what, 5'4", 5'5"?
Yeah. I think it's 5'4". So I think, you're slightly below. But here's my question, though. If there was a traveling tour that was like for some specific, possibly physical aspect of us,
what would it be?
Where we could go and fit in and not be like, finally, I'm with other people like me.
I think I would love like a brown-eyed girl tour.
But that's so common.
But I think it'd be fun. Van Morrison, brown-eyed girl. Like, I think it'd be fun to have just, that's a feature. That's a feature I always struggled with because my older sister had blue eyes. Mm-hmm. And so I was always jealous. I was like, why did I have to get the brown eyes?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of people that would be able to show up.
That's true. There's lots of brown-eyed girls out there. And we got to appreciate our brown eyes. Yeah. They're beautiful.
Mine is also eye-related, but mine was going to be like...
Can't see tour?
Basically blind, but you're not old tour. I would love to meet some other people like me, but I feel like turnout for that would be very low.
Aww.
You're legally allowed to drive, but that's constantly in jeopardy. And you're not 60 years old yet.
Yeah.
That's my tour.
Okay.
Radio U, where music is going, 8772 Radio U. Have you seen the company that's trying to bring back retro Pizza Huts?
I have not.
This is, it's a company headed up by a guy named Tim Sparks. He just bought about 80 Pizza Huts, and he is dedicated to, actually it's almost 100 Pizza Huts.
Whoa.
But he's trying to take them back to the old style look of what Pizza Hut used to be.
Okay.
So
like he's franchising.
Yeah.
Like he is a franchise
He's a franchise owner, yes.
Okay.
And he is, the Pizza Huts that he owns, almost all of them, he's bought these and he is going to turn them back into the classic Pizza Huts that people remember from growing up.
This makes my heart so happy. I see the stained glass, chandelier thingy over the booths. That is peak Pizza Hut right there.
This, like, he is going actually all out. The stained glass lamps, like you're talking about, which, if I'm honest, I don't know if I remember those firsthand. I mean, I've seen them and they're awesome.
Yeah, they're so
But I don't know
cool.
if I went to a Pizza Hut that actually ever had those while I was there.
Okay.
Same with the red checkered tablecloths. Apparently that's like a big hallmark of Pizza Hut from back in the day. I don't remember going to a Pizza Hut like that.
That specifically, but the stained glass chandelier thing I definitely remember.
But they're also bringing back Pac-Man machines.
Oh, yeah.
The salad bar.
Okay.
Which I'll be skipping, but at least... Hey, we have pizza, but you could also get salad if you want. But I have been to Pizza Huts definitely that had that, so I remember that.
Yeah.
And just, it's just going back
to the buffet used to be a thing. Like, everybody would go get the Pizza Hut buffet.
There was a Pizza Hut down the road here from the station that was a long holdout for the buffet, so I remember the buffet.
Well, I think
because it was going till like through COVID.
Yeah, I think some Pizza Huts actually still do the buffets.
Yeah.
It's more
and
rare.
That is the best.
Yeah. But I remember that was a good deal. Lots of families would take advantage of that.
So this guy, Tim Sparks, has his way. If you walk into one of his Pizza Huts, it's going to be like walking into a time machine. You're going to be transported back to the 90s.
That's what we want to see. I mean, there's something about the nostalgia. Nostalgia's a drug you just can't beat.
And like I said, a lot of the aspects of like looking at this Pizza Hut, like the images of some of these, I don't remember all of this firsthand, but it still looks way better than Pizza Hut or most other restaurants now in the first place.
Because most restaurants now have no character. They're super boring and generic, and they're just a box that's just modern hodgepodge, you know?
They all look like shipping containers.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, there isn't a place for that aesthetic, but not all of our favorite family restaurants need to look like that. Because, I'm sorry, McDonald's, when I walk in, should not look like a cold gray place. It should look like this is where kids want to come and eat and have fun and play in the play place and eat at a table that looks like a piano, you know?
Yes.
Why is that so hard for McDonald's to understand?
And when I walk into Burger King, the booth should be retro cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're wearing freaking crowns on our heads, guys. Like, come on.
But that shouldn't be the extent of it. It should be more than just a cardboard crown.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm like, if we're wearing crowns on our heads, we should just go all the way out.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun with it. Tim Sparks says he wants these to be places where people can go and put their phones down and spend time together as a family.
Yeah.
Which definitely sounds like an old guy thing to say, but also it kind of sounds nice.
I think that's a great desire to have.
Put your phone down and play Pac-Man instead.
Yeah.
That's much better.
It's so much better.
Hopefully, I don't know the locations of all these Pizza Huts, but I am hoping that one of them is near you and me.
Yeah.
And we can meet for a personal pan pizza. Why we get so convinced something that we've never had is the thing we need.
Oh.
You know,
that's
like,
a good question.
For a lot of people, I think we've never had like a lot of money.
I knew you were going to say money.
Money is the top one because it's so universal.
Yes.
Such a high percentage of people think that you've never had it. Like, you've had, obviously you have money.
Yeah.
But you've never had like a lot of money.
Yeah, like money that you can just waste it.
Yeah.
You know?
Most people have not made six figures.
Yeah.
But you're like, if I just did, though, so much of my life would be better. You're convinced, like, you just know. But do you actually know? Because you've never had it. Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of examples of people that do have that it's not solved everything.
Right. More money, more problems.
Or something that it seems to make maybe is less people are convinced, but I don't know. I think it might be close. But that I think there's even more evidence is not going to solve all your problems, and that is a relationship.
Yeah.
If you've been single for a long time, you're super convinced. If I just have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then we get married or whatever, like everything's going to be
good.
Yeah, that's all I need. I grew up thinking that for a long time.
Really? Yeah.
And yet, there's so many people that are getting divorced all the time that the relationship is the biggest problem they have.
Yeah.
So why are we so convinced that that's going to fix everything?
Yeah.
Or that it's just what we even need in the first place?
Yeah, I just think that the problem is when we think we have to look outside of ourselves for like something else that's going to fulfill our life, and make things better, money, job, relationship, whatever it may be. We can find fulfillment in those things, but we can't find ultimate fulfillment in that thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't look to that thing and be like, yep, that's where all my happiness lies.
Yeah.
And all my problems will be solved once I have that thing. There is disappointment waiting for you on the other side of that.
Yeah, there's just no singular thing in this world that is going to do that for you. And I think another reason why is this is a sports kind of theory that you get more excited about rookies. Like, every team, it's so exciting when you have a rookie.
That's the only thing I can be excited about because I'm a fan of Cleveland team.
But why are you so excited about the rookie? Because he hasn't had a chance to suck yet.
Yeah.
You don't know he sucks.
Right.
Yeah. All you're seeing is this new guy. So if there's a thing in mind, whether it's money that you've never had, or a relationship that you've never had, or a job that you've never had, it just hasn't had a chance to suck yet. It hasn't had a chance. The grass is always greener. It hasn't had a chance to disappoint you yet. But there is something that's available to all of us that you can start testing out right now. That, like, if you're so convinced all these other things will solve your problems, why not spend some time seeing if maybe God can solve all your problems? Why not take a step with Jesus and see what that can do for you? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of examples about how all these other things are not going to solve your problems, but Jesus actually can.
Yeah, he actually can. He is that ultimate fulfillment that you're looking for. You know, you may think it's in the money, you may think it's in the job, it's in getting married, finding Mr. Right, whatever it may be, but actually the answer has always been God.
It's God, and then whatever all that other stuff is, it all comes following that.
Yeah.
Like it all works into place. If you want to experience that, like I said, it's available to you right now. Jesus is there waiting for you to say, hey, I want you in my life. I want you to start solving some of my problems because I'm not actually convinced that any of these other things can. You want to know more? RadioU.com/free gift. All right, Allie, let's do it. Let's open up the RadioU hotline.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Or you could use the talkback button in the RadioU app. In fact, that would probably be ideal for this task.
Yes.
And that is, let us know a random memory of your life that has no actual meaning.
Yeah, like there's no reason why you should remember this specific interaction, this thing so vividly, but you do.
Yeah.
I'm particularly thinking of like childhood memory.
Yeah.
Not like something recent that happened.
Because you don't remember everything you have that... You know, you might remember everything from the past week. You don't remember everything from childhood.
No, but this is like so random and so specific. Like it feels like it happened yesterday.
You would think that it would have some kind of significance to it.
Yeah.
Because you remember it, but
there's nothing that was cool that was happening. It was just so random.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have an example, Allie? Would you like to go first?
I do. So the reason I asked this question is because the other day a memory popped into my head that was so vivid that I was, again, it's like it could have happened yesterday. But instead it happened when I was 13 years old. I was at a friend's birthday party and I remembered this interaction so clearly. We're a friend's birthday party. This is a sleepover birthday party. Me, my friend whose birthday, we're at her house, and then another friend. So it's us three girls, and then she had two little brothers that were there, and her mom, her dad was like out of town on a business trip. And we're all sitting down at the dining room table for dinner, and we're determining where we're going the following day for our friend's birthday. I have no idea why we're being asked this question, but like, they left it up to the table and like everybody could vote on where they wanted to go or whatever out of these two places. And the funny part is I don't even remember what the two places were, but so they were asked like the two places, like, where do you want to go? And I was like indifferent, you know, I'm like, I don't really care where we want to go.
Yeah.
So I said, I was kind of joking, but I was like, whichever's the closest. I was like, less gas. Like I like shrugged my shoulders and was less gas.
Yeah.
And this girl's mom made the most exasperated sigh I had ever heard in my life. And she goes, well, we're not going to determine where we go based off of gas.
She actually said that?
Yes. I think secretly I remember this because at 13, maybe this was traumatizing for me. I don't know.
That's what I'm going to think. I think because some of mine, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm traumatized by it.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like that's maybe I probably am if I
I was
get therapy for it.
I was joking, and also, why are we being asked this question? It's not our birthday. Like, we shouldn't be the ones determining where we're going. You're the ones leaving it in our hands. Why is my reasoning any more invalid than anyone else's? So anyways, that's a random memory I, for some reason, vividly remember.
Okay. Random memories from your childhood that don't seem significant. 877-2-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the RadioU app. What's funny is we're kind of setting up a whole segment of like, tell us a pointless story from your childhood.
but we could end up with a funny story.
We could. I mean, yours was entertaining, even though there's no point to it.
There's no point to it. It's just for some reason I remember this story like it was yesterday.
I've got a handful. Some of them are pretty quick, so we'll get to those and see if anybody else has some. Your random memory from your childhood that seemingly has no significance. Let us know. 877-2-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the RadioU app. RadioU, where music is going. The RadioU hotline is open.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Or you could use the talkback button in the RadioU app to share a seemingly insignificant memory from your childhood that randomly pops into your head. We heard from Oliver, who says, being bored one afternoon, walking around the yard, than going inside, turning on a Julia Child rerun on PBS and thinking about Reggie White of the Packers.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, it kind of does. I don't remember doing that, but Reggie White was awesome, though.
Yes.
I don't really remember him playing, but I like Reggie White.
We heard from Dee. She says it was probably about 11 or 12, and my mom sent me to the grocery store to get something for my lunch, like lunch meat or something. I don't remember. And the cashier was smoking, and she blew smoke in my face, and I started coughing. Then she started making fun of me. And yes, she was an adult, and I was a child.
Wow.
That is crazy. And yes, this again lends to the idea that these memories, we hold them so like in vivid recollection. We can vividly recall what happens because it was secretly traumatizing to us.
Yeah.
Like maybe in the moment we didn't recognize that there was any trauma tied to it, but now looking back, it's like there's trauma tied to
I know.
this.
I think people, like, there could be some interesting psychoanalysis done on all of these memories that we share. So here's one of mine. It's very similar to yours.
Okay.
I remember being at church and it was like a rehearsal for something my parents were doing. And so it was a bunch of adults, but all of the adults had their kids there. So all the kids were hanging out too. And they were going to get pizza for after, for this rehearsal. And they were like, okay, we're putting in the pizza order. What kind of pizzas does everybody want? And I said, I want cheese. And a woman named, I remember her very well because my parents were good friends with her, but her name was Brenda. And she goes, we are not getting cheese. And she was joking, but I didn't get it at the time. And I was like, that's so mean, Miss Brenda. Why are you doing that to me? And I never forgot that. I can still remember her. Like, I can still think of her face, even though now I know. At some point it dawned on me, oh, she was joking. She was very sarcastic.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, seriously. No 5-year-old would understand that. Again, why are these adults doing this unhinged stuff? We heard from William. He says, back when he was in 3rd grade, I had a neighbor friend that spent the night at my house. When we were getting food to eat, he made a cheese quesadilla. When he microwaved it, he put it in for 3 minutes. When it came out, it was over. It was burnt. Come to find out, he had a lower wattage microwave at his house where he had more, and we had a more powerful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that could have been really bad.
I guess so.
That could have caused a fire.
Carter says at 8772 Radio U, coming downstairs at 8:30 in the morning when I was 6, and I felt FOMO because my family was eating cereal and talking, and I woke up too late.
Oh, no. We heard from Jesse. He says, getting in trouble in elementary school, going into my mom's car at the end of the day, my friend said, you are going to walk with me or I'll tell your mom you got in trouble. I decided to walk.
Wow. Secretly traumatizing in some way.
Yes, indeed.
On the menu today is the new Smart Pop, or Smart Food Fiber Pop Sweet and Salty Edition. It comes in a pink bag. It has 6 grams of fiber per serving. Is that good?
I don't know. Somebody let us know. Is that good? Bad?
One thing I'm worried about, what if this is really good? And what if you can have too much fiber? Is there such a thing? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It says 6 grams of fiber per serving, but for some reason they also have a serving is 1.5 cups, and they also have it listed out by the cup, and so there's only 4 grams in a cup.
Okay.
I don't know why they do that.
Do they tell you how much like daily, the daily value?
You know what? 22%. 6 grams is 22%
of your daily
fiber for a standard 2,000 calorie per day diet.
Okay, so 1 serving is giving you 22% of your daily fiber that you should get.
So 5 servings, you'd be
good.
Yeah.
Daily fiber taken care of.
Okay.
All right, we ready to try this out?
Yes, I'll go first.
You go first. Try it. This also, as far as the look of the popcorn, it looks like caramel popcorn. It is sweet and salty, so you can smell the salt, but the look of it is like a sweet caramel popcorn.
Maybe people that eat smart food are used to this, but it's giving rice cakes.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this tastes way better than rice cakes to me.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's not so good that I'm going to eat too much fiber.
No,
it's not that good.
It's not like addictive good. I'm usually not a sweet popcorn person anyways. I much prefer like the movie, theater butter popcorn. But this isn't like bad. It doesn't taste bad.
You can't even taste the fiber.
I think
it's a miracle.
That's the hope, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it tastes pretty good. I'm gonna have another one real quick.
This is one of the healthiest food fights we've probably ever done.
Yeah.
There's
after all the Burger King, this is what we needed.
Low calorie and high fiber. And I was also thinking about it. If you've ever done keto, another benefit to having a high fiber is every gram of fiber cancels out a gram of carbs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you can this having 6 grams of fiber per serving drops the total carbs down from 21, which is what it is, but then it's only 15.
Oh.
Which is still a lot
for
if you're on keto, but it's at least something if you really are desperate for just any kind of
anything to help cut the carbs.
Yeah. So, and I mean, not bad at all.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
I could snack on this easily. I could see myself snacking on this during the workday. Because also another thing that's really great about caramel popcorn is it doesn't really leave a residue on your hands, and any like snack that's like doesn't leave a residue behind. Good work snack, good drive snack. So yeah,
it's a kind of snack that it's good enough to be okay, but it also doesn't feel unhealthy.
Yeah.
It feels like if you were on a diet, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm breaking my diet.
Yeah, by having this.
No matter what your probably diet was.
Right.
So, not too shabby.
I give it 2 thumbs up. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd give it a solid 6.
Yeah, 6 sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was worried it was going to be nasty in some way.
I was kind of worried it was too. Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.